time you got lost, I almost fell off the edge.
This session was intense. It all came together at the last minute, which meant Kat was writing the song a week beforehand. We were figuring out who was even going to play on it and whether it was going to be an electronic song or an acoustic song, really right down to the last seconds. It would be enough to try to pull all of these elements together over several days. But to have to pull it together in about 24 hours, that was enough to sort of fray our nerves pretty heartily.
Remember the time you got lost, I almost fell off the edge.
So Sufjan Stevens is a friend of Kat's, and he wanted to come down and help for the session. I also asked Chris Powell, who's a great drummer in Philadelphia, to be a part of the session as well. But it was kind of unclear about whether he was going to be playing his drum set or his drum machine. And then, surprise of all surprises, Sufjan comes in with his bag and a drum machine sitting right there in it.
Well, I don't know if she told you, but I have a drum machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what sort of
Okay.
what I thought my role was going
Okay.
to be with this machine.
That's,
Okay,
that's
okay.
what I thought it was going to be
Well,
too.
let's
so.
let's bring that into the picture then
But
too.
if he's got an NPC, then I don't want to
Well, let's
overdo it.
Well, no, let's pull it out. When Sufjan plays his drum machine, he just plays with his fingers. So that means it's not like a programmed thing and he just hits play. It means he's hitting pads, and there's definitely going to be swing and pull, and some things will be on time and some things will be out of time. What was really cool was putting two people together doing that same thing at the same time. As they started to feel each other's groove, the two performances started to come together. It was really pretty cool.
This was a very different session just in general, even for me, because so many of the elements and sounds were directly recorded purely through cables. It still turned out really great, really open, really lush sounding. And a big part of that was on the back end of things.
For this session, we had microphones from Telefunken, we had pedals from Zvex, and we had some preamps from Electronaut. Rob Roy Campbell sent us one of his very own M63 tube preamps. We took Kat's voice, which was recorded through a different preamp altogether during the tracking, and we ended up running it back through the Electronaut just to sort of grind it up a little bit with the tube distortion.
I think that's a really huge part of the character of this song. I was actually surprised at how hard you could push the Electronaut, how hard it was actually hitting the input of that preamp and getting really pleasing, like warm, kind of fuzzy results.
Tell me I can never know to touch the rib within.
Brian and I kind of went crazy on the effects train again. We just brought out a piano bench and it was just covered in pedals. And we had a pretty vast chain of things going on, which started coming out of the MW1 into the Space Echo, into the three Zvex pedals, which were the Tremorama, the Uwa, and the Ringtone. And then that was fed into a Crybaby Wah pedal. And then out of that, it was malted to both a Memory Man and a Polychorus with their modulation effects kind of going wild. And then each one of those pedals were sent to their own Ampeg Gemini guitar amp with the reverbs cranked up. We used the C12s to mic up both of those amps, and that also ran through the Electronaut.
If you open up the gate, I can get in the hallway against the brick wall.
from the standpoint of this shaking through experience and what we try to do in one day and how that is potentially such a sort of transformative experience for each artist involved. We didn't really pull that off. I don't know that the people involved in Kat's session got to have the shaking through experience. That said, I Promise turned out excellent, which really goes to prove you can do things the hard way and they can still turn out amazing. But I would contend that given the option to do it the hard way or a much more efficient, much more inspiring way, and have it turn out just as excellent, I would do that.